All roads lead to slap. Put that on my tombstone, baby.
Hello and welcome to this week's episode of Ear Buddies. I am Ian Meyer, joined per usual by the purveyor of jugs himself, Scott El Guchador Kraus. What's going on, Scoob?
Sup, man? Schwam wham.
How are you doing?
Great.
What's been going on? Anything exciting?
Nope.
You started a new job though, right?
I did.
How's that been going?
Awesome.
That's all I need to hear.
Doing good. How about you?
Yeah, I don't have a lot new going on. Same old stuff. Working and listening to the album at hand.
Oh, yeah?
You want to jump in and talk about that bad boy?
Yeah. I suppose we should.
Here we go.
Actually.
Fuck.
I did have one thing I wanted to try out this time. I spent the last 10 minutes gathering music news. Did you hear the news? We reviewed Tyler, the Creator recently.
We did do that.
Igor, his newest album.
That is.
Did you hear, this is breaking music news,
I probably didn't.
that he released an ice cream flavor?
I did not hear that, especially.
On July 6th, he's releasing his own ice cream flavor called Snowflake, and it's a mix of peppermint and spearmint flavors, and it looks like it's also got white chocolate.
Interesting.
On Jenny's label, Jenis, Golf Le Fleur.
I like all those flavors. We'll see how it is combined.
Yeah, I don't know where to get it, but hey, I gathered all these articles up. I didn't read them. Let's just read another headline.
That's fair.
I can't roll my R's, so this one will be hard to do. But Cardi B's attempt to trademark turned down by U.S. Postal Patent Office.
Trademark what? Excuse me?
You never heard, like, I can't roll my R's, but it's okay.
No, I've never heard that before. Even if you were rolling your R's, I've never heard that before.
Okay.
Is there a spelling on it?
OKURRR.
Oh.
Yeah, that's exactly it.
Is that it?
Yeah.
It sounds fucking stupid. What is that?
She just, she went on national TV, some talk show. I forgot which one. And she just kept saying that.
Jesus.
Thing is that she didn't invent that, okay? Let's make that clear. That I saw that on a YouTube thing. I don't even know if they invented that, but I saw that on a YouTube thing like years before I saw her.
Way before it was cool.
No, that's not what I'm trying to do here.
Way
before she did it.
Yeah.
So she's trying to make it her catchphrase. Come on, Cardi.
That's aggravating. I'm not a fan of hers. I'm going to say that.
I like her. She's okay. But that was stupid. Okay, last one. Least interesting. Music news. This is our first and final segment, installment of this segment. Janet Weiss is leaving Sleater-Kinney. She's the drummer. Are you familiar with Sleater-Kinney at all?
Only from you.
Okay. I listened. The reason I screenshotted this one in that 10 minutes you were taking a shit
okay.
is because I recently listened to their new single, one of their new singles. I think they have two out. I listened to one of them. I don't know which one. It's the most well-researched episode ever. So they're releasing their new album. Sleater-Kinney hasn't released an album since, I think we were in high school. And they're releasing their new album with the help of St. Vincent.
Ooh, awesome.
But the new single I heard was trash.
Really?
I didn't like it at all.
Uh-oh.
And maybe I'd like it more with repeated listens, but I was like, whoa, this sucks.
Whoa, this sucks.
And apparently I'm not the only one, because Janet Weiss says, after intense deliberation and heavy sadness, I have decided to leave Sleater-Kinney. She writes, the band is headed in a new direction, and it's time for me to move on.
Oh, boy.
So
we're getting bad. I need to go.
Yeah. So it's just like, let me leave before it gets real bad.
Dipping.
Music news. Thanks, everybody.
Well, all right.
What's album we're reviewing, bro?
We're reviewing the latest album from the Raconteurs, Help Us Stranger.
All right.
This is their first album in 11 years.
That's pretty crazy.
And I will say I was excited for this album to come out. I was a big Raconteurs fan back in high school.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, I went through a big Raconteurs. Although it's interesting because it's a weird band for me because they kind of have an even split on their songs for me. I either love them or I'm kind of blah on them.
Yeah.
I actually went back and listened to the first two albums again. The songs that I've always been blah on, I like a lot more now with 11-year-older ears.
My experience with Raconteurs, I only heard the singles really for the most part.
And hearing me talk about them all the goddamn time.
Yeah, they never. I liked them. They never interested me enough. You know, it was just like I liked the members in the band, but they never did anything that made me want to dive in. Yeah, and I'm not like a huge fan of them like individually either. It's just like it's just more of like, oh, okay, that's cool. It's like something that I kind of enjoyed passively.
Right.
I liked Brendan Benson. I like White Stripes. I don't know. It's just like it's very simple. Well, maybe deceptively, but it felt like very like traditional, simple, like more classic Rocky than Jack White's. Like it's less garage than the White Stripes. More like
gotcha.
Abbey Road.
Are you gonna finish any of these sentences?
Sorry,
I don't care.
I'm running it 50%. 20%.
So the Raconteurs are a group made up, as you said, of Jack White, Brendan Benson, Jack Lawrence on bass, and Patrick Keeler on drums. Those two guys are from the Greenhorns.
Yeah.
And Raconteurs were, I don't know if they were necessarily pegged as a supergroup, but they've actually like issued a statement saying, like, we're not a supergroup, we're just a band made up of old friends. So they just kind of got together. It was actually Jack White and Brendan Benson got together and they wrote Steady As She Goes, which is probably the one hit that everyone would really know from the Raconteurs.
Hell yeah.
And that kind of sparked the
Formation,
which that song, there's some critique behind it because it supposedly rips off another song.
Oh, really?
People have compared Steady As She Goes to Joe Jackson's Is She Really Going Out With Him? So I'll play a little bit of Steady As She Goes just to get a little sound of that. A little something. And I like this song a lot, though. I think this is a killer single.
It's a cool song. Yeah, it's very catchy. I already know how both these songs go.
People might not.
But I'm going to just say, before you play it, I'm going to say I don't think it's a fair criticism.
Honestly, people have compared a Red Hot Chili Peppers song.
Is that what they're talking about?
Yeah. If you listen to the bass line,
yeah, but
it's pretty close.
But the tone is completely different.
Yeah. So what? It sounds similar.
Yeah,
but
whatever.
I thought I heard that years ago there was an issue actually, but
I never thought about it, and I'm very familiar with both those songs.
Yeah, so it's the bass line on there. But people have also compared Red Hot Chili Peppers' Danny California to Tom Petty, because the chord progression is real similar to Mary Jane's Last Dance.
Well, they keep doing that. I mean, there was another
like,
Tom Petty thing with, Sam Smith?
Ooh, yeah, I think so. Yeah. Actually, that one I kind of get.
Yeah.
Let me see.
And I think that one, Tom Petty was like, oh, like, he seemed really cool about it. It was like, yeah, we all rip each other off. I forgot his actual quote. This is a fun tangent.
Oh, they put it over the top of it. They're playing both songs, I think.
It's pretty much exactly the same.
But it's like,
who cares?
Who cares?
Also, there was that famous case with, Blurred Lines.
Yeah.
Was that Marvin Gaye?
I think so. Yeah.
And I get that one, but that one was really stupid in my opinion. And as much of a fan of more of a fan of Marvin Gaye than I am of, what's his name?
Robin Thicke.
Robin Thicke. I mean, that's not saying much.
Or what's his name? The other guy, Pharrell.
I like Pharrell. That was a stupid lawsuit. They shouldn't have won.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't really have an opinion on it. I didn't look too closely into it. I remember looking up both, and I'm like, oh yeah, that is real similar. Yeah, it sounds like he might have ripped him off, but I don't know.
It's more of an homage.
Yeah.
And at that point, like, you can reference that case for other cases now. It's like, oh, well, they won.
It's a homage.
Homage.
Anyway, so that's a little fun fact about Raconteurs. Another
wait. What else sounds like other stuff?
Oh,
let's keep going on this.
Let's see. Well, this cover of Steady As She Goes by Fits in the Tantrums sounds like Raconteurs' Steady As She Goes.
Wow.
Except a lot more poppy and...
It's got some spice.
It's got that berry going. That's a little spicy. I used to like Fits in the Tantrums until I realized that
they're okay.
They're not. No, they're kind of bad.
I haven't listened enough to have a real...
I really like their song Money Grabber. I think that was their first single.
Yeah.
I was like, this is cool. And then everything else I heard from them after that, I'm like, oh, this is...
Isn't that like the Scissor Sisters? Aren't they really similar?
The Scissor Sisters?
Yeah, play some Scissor Sisters.
Who are the Scissor Sisters?
They were pretty big, like, years before Fits in the Tantrums.
All right. The Scissor Sisters, first of all, sounds like some sort of adult film.
I think that's by design.
Oh, okay, good. It says, forged in the gay nightlife scene of New York, the band took its name from the female same-sex sexual activity tribadism. Tribadism.
I'm going off some vague memory, so they might not sound anything like that.
What's
other
tribadism?
Band.
Oh boy. All right, everybody, don't just Google tribadism. Fair warning. Or commonly known by its scissoring position, is a sex act in which a woman rubs her against her partner's body for sexual stimulation, especially for ample stimulation of the clitoris.
You said commonly known as.
Did I really?
Yeah. Could you play some Scissor Sisters so I can verify with myself that this wasn't complete? I mean, this is all just a tangent. I think we're stalling because...
I think half of this will get cut.
Yeah.
All right, Scissor Sisters, I don't feel like dancing.
Tell me if this sounds like Fits in the Tantrums. We're doing this whole episode about things that sound like other things now.
All right, does this sound like Fits in the Tantrums?
They probably don't.
It's going in the direction of it.
It's a little more Bee Gees. Similar tone.
Yeah, a bit.
I'd rub my to this.
Get some sweet tribadim. I don't know if I'm saying that right. Tribadim?
I would somebody to this.
Oh, God. We're diving in head first here. Or first.
I remember this song.
I don't know this song. It's all right. It's got a good groove to it.
There he's coming, the chorus. It's coming up.
Oh, man. Maybe I have heard that. I don't know.
Yeah.
Great. It's going to be in my head the rest of the night, though. Scissor Sisters. All right. Well, there you go, Scott.
You got any other random things we could bring up?
Yeah. Our buddy Jordan, friend of the podcast, introduced me to Dungeons and Dragons.
I heard about that.
That's some geeky shit, but it was fun.
Yeah,
cool.
I'm gonna play with you guys.
It got violent.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it got violent real fast.
He was telling me about his brother, like they were fighting a minotaur. I don't know how to play this game, but they were fighting a minotaur, and he was a wizard. And he's just like, the minotaur was almost dead, and he was just like, I'm gonna just bonk it with my quarter staff. And everyone's just like, no, just cast a spell, just kill it. He's like, no, I'm gonna hit it with my quarter staff. And he rolled like a really low number, and then the minotaur impaled him and almost killed him. And for some reason, like the thought of that happening really cracked me up.
Yeah. Getting too cocky.
Yeah.
Getting too, let's see. Oh, I don't have Tribadim pulled up.
Oh, man.
Oh, I'm sorry. Tribadism. It's not tribadims. It's tribadism.
What are we doing? I need to go to sleep.
We're 30 minutes in. We're 24 minutes in.
Let's get on with this.
Scott, you want to jump back into the Raconteurs?
Yeah, I would like that.
All right, so fun fact about the Raconteurs. They're actually known as the Saboteurs in Australia because there's a Queensland-based band called the Raconteurs. They were actually contacted to give up the name for a certain amount of money, and they wouldn't do it. They asked for more money, and the label that had contacted them was like, all right, well, we're not going to pay that. We're not going to pay your counteroffer. And they really just asked for more money because they didn't know who wanted the name, and they just asked for more just to see what would happen.
Wow.
Pretty anticlimactic. It's like, oh, okay, well, we didn't get the money, and this other band, who's pretty big, just changed their name.
Yeah, does anybody know the other Raconteurs? Like, those people, that band just got, like, obsoleted.
I don't know. Let's check it out. Raconteurs Australia. Let's see. Nope, it just pulls up a picture of Brendan Benson and Jack White.
Yep.
And the Saboteurs, with like their most current photo. Let's see. Yeah, it's all just Raconteurs stuff. If you just search Raconteurs Australia, yeah, where is that other band? Who knows, man? But the Raconteurs, though, this is one of Jack White's many groups. Jack White of the White Stripes. He's done the Raconteurs. He's done the Dead Weather. He's got some solo albums out. What's your opinion on his solo albums?
I haven't really taken the dive into his solo albums.
I don't like them. Coming off of having that raw garage sound of the White Stripes and his solo material, it's too clean. It's like polar opposite.
We were talking about this earlier the other day. Because he has the Third Man Records. Right. He has his own record label. They really, it seems like they've been hitting it out of the park with like the packaging on his albums. Like his last, I think the album before his most recent album had some real like custom etching where you would play the record and there would be this like rotating angel because of how the etchings were done on the record. While it was rotating, it looked like in a stationary spot on the record, there'd be like a 3D rotating angel.
Which is awesome.
Which is crazy. And then also you would move the needle onto the label and there was like a hidden track. So just that, it's like, wow. I thought about buying that album just for that. I saw like a Record Store Day video on that.
That's pretty sick.
But I have no idea what his solo stuff sounds like.
It's not bad by any means. It just doesn't feel very genuine. It doesn't feel very creative.
Like
it all feels forced.
I like the White Stripes. I actually what was their breakout, Elephant? I mean, that wasn't their breakout. They've always been popular. Like White Blood Cells, right? That was probably their breakout. I don't know, but
it might have been.
They've always been good. I've always liked the White Stripes. I just never been like that big of a fan that I'm like, oh, okay, Jack White solo, I'm in.
Yeah.
I respect the dude. He's a cool guy. And
I was intrigued because I thought that he said years ago, like, oh, I'll never go solo because for reasons. I don't know what his rationale is for that. But then he did it for 3 albums. And, you know, I honestly didn't really look into the commercial success of any of them. I don't know. I know a couple of them didn't do too hot. But, I don't know. I didn't really dive into the third one because I wasn't impressed with the first 2.
The third one I've heard people liked.
Okay. I'm
I think it's supposed to be pretty weird.
Yeah.
The cover is weird.
Yeah.
That weird, like, just smooth picture. It looks like a really crappy
picture of him, right? His face?
Maybe. I don't know. It's
face.
It's a very weird album cover, but it's intriguing. Like I almost listened to it and I had no interest, but just based on that cover and just people saying that, like, wow, this is actually really good.
Yeah, Boarding House Reach. Oh yeah, it's a picture of a person. I guess it's supposed to be him. I don't know.
It's
Maybe it's not even supposed to be him.
Not appealing looking album cover.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's weird enough that it's kind of cool. I think the Lazaretto album cover is kind of cool. him in like this blue suit surrounded by these stone angels.
I think that's the one with the angel etching on the record.
Oh, okay, that would make sense. Yeah, I don't know, man. Not big on those, but I like Jack White. I like what he does.
Nice.
And I like the Raconteurs. Raconteurs are good.
What are your initial thoughts about the Raconteurs in 2019?
Well, my thoughts on this album are exactly as follows. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It doesn't thrill me, but I don't hate it by any means.
I think it's kind of... it's very underwhelming to me.
It is.
It's just unremarkable.
Unremarkable.
To the point where I've listened to it a fair bit, and I don't even know if I have any track picks. I'm just like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah, I don't even know if I'd call it underwhelming so much as just unremarkable. It just doesn't really do a whole lot. And it's like, yeah, they haven't played together in years. They've done a couple surprise shows and stuff, a few of them, and they all work really well together. That's the thing. Some of their arrangements are really good. They got some songs that get me really, really jacked off. And I think
they
Brendan...
They jill you to the bone.
Oh, got some tunes that jill me directly to the bone. Oh, I've been jilled. I think Jack White and Brendan Benson work really well together. I think their voices really complement each other.
Yeah, they're similar. Similar voices. Yeah,
very similar. And but I will say, I don't hear it so much on the album, so much as like some of the commentary I heard. Jack White has a more rough voice than I remember him having. And I know he's a smoker, and I'm like, oh man, dude, quit smoking. Your voice is going to be worn out in the next like 20, like, are you going to be able to do this in the next 20 years? Well, I think both those guys smoke, and I'm like, some of the notes that they hit, I'm like, how are you guys singing like that? That's one thing I'll say is 11 years later, their voices sound good, I think.
Well, I heard that Jack White does heroin.
Ooh, you took that as at face value, you bitch.
I was just playing devil's advocate.
Yeah, I know.
He just released a thing where he's like doing like this mic drop caliber just like speech where he's just like, spin, pitchfork, you guys, clickbait, you know.
Yeah. So what? I didn't read the original article. What prompted him to say like, "Oh, we were away for a while. The album took a while because I was doing heroin."
I think he was making a joke, and they took it as fact and out of context. And then if someone accuses you of doing heroin for real, I mean, I could see why he would be upset by that.
Yeah.
And that's not cool of Spin if it was clear that it was a joke. I didn't read the original article, but
I read his statement. A couple people I follow on Instagram reposted it. I thought it was kind of cool. He was basically saying like, okay, that was a joke, and it's kind of screwed up that that's what you guys took away from the article and started using as clickbait, as opposed to talking about music themselves. Like, you guys call yourself musical journalists, and then this is what you want to talk about, type of thing.
He put people in their place, and it was a win for the musicians, I think.
Yeah, people are really backing him for that, and some actors too, actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Seems like it kind of blew up.
Yeah,
but yeah, so I will. Are you finished with your thoughts? Sorry, are you finished with your thoughts?
Yeah, I think it just it's got a lot of cool moments on it, which I guess these days you can say about any album. But as far as whole songs, nothing really gets to me. It's just I'm kind of neutral on it, man. Like, it's good. There's some really cool stuff.
Yeah,
but it's just as each individual whole song, they're all just okay. You know?
I had more or less the same exact impression about this album.
Yeah, I was really excited. I've been looking forward to a new Raconteurs album for a long time. I was super excited when I heard this year that they were finally going to be doing it, and that they had put out some singles. And I was like, oh my God. The singles, I was like, okay, this is kind of cool, but a little weird. I'm excited to hear what's to come with the album.
Yeah.
And, it just... I don't even want to say that it didn't deliver. I'm happy they put it out. I'm still excited to see what's to come next if they do anything more. But it just didn't do a ton for me the way I wish it did.
Yeah, I want to start off by saying that my first listen to this album was not the way you should be listening to this album for the first time. On Spotify, there are two options. I don't know if it's like that for other services, but there is the album, and then there's an album with every song, track by track, introduction by Jack White.
Yeah, there's a commentary, but the commentary is an independent track.
Yeah.
So you should have just been able to skip it.
Well, okay. I thought I wasn't paying attention. I was driving to work. I click the track by track one thinking it's the album. And I thought, wow, the first track, like Jack White's like, oh, so this song, you know, Brendan and I were working real hard and blah, blah, blah. And I'm just thinking like, wow, this is weird. This is a weird...
you thought it was
this is a weird direction. Was. Yeah, I thought it was like an artistic decision to do like a behind the music VH1 style thing.
Integrated into the album.
And by the like fourth track, I was like really annoyed by it. And I'm just like, is there a version, like me being an idiot, just like, is there a version where I don't have to listen to this? Yeah, the actual album. But I listened to the entire album for the first time with Jack White talking about every track before the album. And I gotta say, the songs had no impact on me at the first listen, even with like...
Same here.
Even with Jack White's like, oh yeah, this part was cool and this lyric was cool. And I'm just like, no, it's not. No, they're not. It's just like real, very underwhelming. Underwhelming is the word I would say. It was underwhelming to the point where I was so neutral about it that it was kind of a chore to listen to, because I was like, I could be listening to so many other things.
Yeah.
And this does so little for me, but it doesn't offend me, but it's just so like milquetoast that I'm just like, do I really need to put this on right now? You know, it's just like,
yeah. I know that feeling.
Am I going to feel different about this? Because it just, everything is up front. There doesn't seem to be any subtleties or like layers to this album. It's like, okay, you like the Beatles. You like, you know, whatever. It's like very straightforward rock and roll stuff.
You're saying that you can hear like the influences like that.
Yeah, I mean,
as opposed to listening through these songs,
they're not reinventing the wheel
multiple times and going, "Oh, I didn't notice that before. That's really cool."
Yeah,
I had those moments on their prior albums.
Yeah, and listening back to a couple singles from their previous album, their first album, it felt like they had a lot more heart, whereas this one felt, and I could be wrong. I mean, Jack White seemed to have a lot to say about the album, but it felt like more like a business move, or like more like, let's get the old band together and just do it how we used to do it. You know, it didn't feel like there was as much like drive or passion.
See, I don't know if I agree with that. To me, it feels like they really did put a lot of effort into it. It actually really feels like a Raconteurs album to me. I will say that. It's not that it feels like a bad. It feels like a Raconteurs, which is good, and I think that's why I'm not like bummed out by it.
Well, that's my problem. Is it just feels safe. It doesn't feel like they're doing anything. It doesn't feel like they're pushing in any way. It's just like, okay, this is what we used to sound like. Let's make songs that sound like this.
I mean, they're definitely doing different stuff. They're doing some different things. Mostly, I guess, just different sounds. But I think they are staying true to themselves, and maybe just the songs aren't of the same caliber as the previous albums.
Okay. I can't speak too much because I haven't listened to an entire Raconteurs album, but it's like they're all within the same palette. Like they're all within the same like color palette. It's like no song is like, whoa, this song is crazy. Really?
Yeah. There's a couple parts where it's like, oh, I didn't see that coming.
Yeah.
But it didn't have enough shock value to really make the song worth listening to me.
Yeah. It was just kind of like whatever, and I didn't hate it. It sounds really negative what I'm saying, but it's just like it was kind of a negative experience because it felt like they did so so little to keep my attention. I don't know.
Yeah, I guess
maybe it's just not for me. That's kind of what I'm getting at.
I don't know. I mean, there were a couple parts where it did feel like maybe they were trying to get your attention a little too hard.
Yeah.
Like maybe they just forced this weird transition in this area, which sounded cool, but was like, okay. They didn't really do anything to make me care about that transition, I guess.
Yeah. And maybe it's hard to get all the boys together now.
Yeah.
Or something.
And I do think they put a lot of effort into it, and it just didn't resonate with us, maybe.
Yeah, I can't speak to any of that, but
because I did go back and listen to the first 2 albums again, and as I mentioned previously, and the stuff that used to really be my jam didn't excite me on the level it did 10 years ago.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that's just because I'm older, or I'm just like, I've listened to those songs so many times that I just am not pumped instantly about them anymore, or maybe I outgrew them a little bit. I'm worried that I kind of outgrew them a little bit, and now I'm kind of like, oh, I see what you're doing. I got you. I know what you're doing.
I think for me, it's just like, okay, I liked the Raconteurs when they were out, and then I kind of got bored with them kind of immediately, and then this is like a worse version of what they were doing before from my eye. So it's like, I never really had anything invested in them in the first place other than like a casual enjoyment that really kind of faded really quickly. So now it's just like, whatever. I don't care.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to hate because they're doing it and it's good. It's, if you like the Raconteurs, if you're a diehard fan, I'm sure it's like great. I'm sure you'll find something to like about this album. Just me personally.
Yeah.
It didn't grow onto me really.
So let me run down the track listing real quick for Help Us Stranger. We have Bored and Raised, Help Me Stranger, Only Child, Don't Bother Me, Shine the Light on Me, Some Days, in parentheses, I Don't Feel Like Trying, Hey Gip or Jip, in parentheses, Dig the Slowness, Sunday Driver, Now That You're Gone, Live a Lie, What's Yours Is Mine, and Thoughts and Prayers.
It's a good name.
And you said that you didn't have any standouts?
I don't know. I mean, there's certain tracks I remember more that stood out more. I think Don't Bother Me had a cool, like, Don't Bother Me. Yeah.
I didn't like that. I thought that was one of the low points.
And that's also like, I also don't really, it just stood out. I think maybe Now That You're Gone was cool. It was just reminded me of like Abbey Road Beatles type of thing.
You know what? This was, I think this was one of the singles.
Oh, really?
They put out, if I'm not mistaken. And this might actually be my number 1 on the album.
It stood out. It's a cool song.
Yeah. I think this one's really cool. I think this is the one that I really was like bobbing my head to.
This feels like a Beatles song to me.
Mm-hmm. I mean, these guys, you know, they're reminiscent of that old era.
There's a certain amount of worship going on here.
Yeah, it's respectable. It's homage.
Yeah.
That's how you say homage. While we're here, I want to say something that I really like is the solo. It's about 2 minutes in, and there's a certain sound on the solo here
Oh yeah.
That right there. I know what he's doing, and I love that sound. He's slapping the whammy bar.
Huh.
It's probably got some sort of Bigsby whammy bar on there, and it gives it that weird gyration sound.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Yeah, and I love when people do that, and I want to get a guitar that has that on it so I can do it too. But it specifically might be a Bigsby whammy bar, and why I say that is because that one's got like a big, it's got like a big spring on it.
Yeah.
So if you kind of slap it, it kind of gyrates like that.
Yeah,
as opposed to, I mean, I guess I've seen it done on like a Strat style whammy bar too, but not as much as on like something with a Bigsby. And so I thought that was really cool. I think that was one of my favorite moments, was him slapping that whammy.
It's pretty. Now that you've described it to me, I like it more.
Hell yeah.
I kind of like Some Days I Don't Feel Like Trying.
Here's what I'll say about this song. This makes me think of Lynyrd Skynyrd right here.
Yeah.
Specifically,
like a southern thing.
Specifically, Tuesday's Gone.
Yeah. I do. There's a part of me that does like that southern rock.
I mean, I like Leonard Skinner.
Yeah.
You said that like as if you were hesitant to admit that.
It is a bit shameful for me. No, that's fine.
For you, it seems shameful. Specifically, this part of Tuesday's Gone for me. It reminded me. Like.
Oh, this is Leonard?
This is Leonard, yeah.
Leonard.
This is exactly what it reminded me of instantly, and I'm like, oh boy.
Yeah, I could see that.
But
for sure.
So anyway, just that little speck right there.
Was this on your picks?
No, it's cool, but it goes through a few phases, and by the time it hits about 3 minutes, I don't like the turn that it makes. It kind of calms down.
Yeah, actually, this part did suck.
This gets kind of...
I kind of forgot they did this.
This, like... I couldn't put my finger on it. Very classic Rocky.
Now that I remember that they do this in this song, I like the first part of it.
Yeah, the first time I heard this, I was like, okay, this is kind of a cool song.
Maybe I thought this was a different song.
I like the kind of repeating ending like this, how they're kind of just jamming over it, but I don't like the way it's done here.
This sounds so old.
It's just kind of hokey,
like a geezer rock.
It's geezer rock. Yeah. So
I revoked that track pick.
Oh no.
So I have one track pick.
You just had that one now. You revoked.
Revoked
some days.
I might piggyback on yours if you explain them well enough.
Okay, cool. I think that on Thoughts and Prayers, the strings are awesome.
It was a pretty decent ender or closer.
The song is... It's fine. It's okay. It's cool. I could see someone really liking this song.
It like makes sense as a closer.
Yeah.
And every time I listen to it, I think about Jack White talking about it. I think that's what ruined it for me.
That just killed the whole album.
Like this had to be the closer.
Yeah.
I'm just like, it just sounded like such a VH1 behind the music. Like, you know what? If you listen to an album with the intention of listening to Jack White talk about it, it's fine. But I wasn't, so it annoyed me.
Yeah. What I like about this song is the guitars kind of trading off a bit. That's a very Raconteurs-y thing. They will trade off. It's almost like a call and response between Brendan Benson and Jack White, and I love when they do that. And then they bring it together, and it sounds great. I think that's one of the things that kind of makes the Raconteurs to me. Yeah. Is I'm doing that. So they got the fiddle that comes in, and it sounds like it might be the same fiddle players on their previous album. I think it was on Consolers of the Lonely, because the playing sounds real similar, and I love it. I think it sounds great. And then there's like layers of strings going in here, of fiddle, and I don't know. I think it sounds really cool.
This song was cool.
It builds up into that, and then it's kind of folky thing.
I do like this part a lot. I just something about the way it ended was unremarkable to me.
Gotcha. Here's something. What's your opinion of the drummer?
Drummer's good.
The drummer's a fucking badass.
Yeah.
And that's something...
Everybody's good.
I remember before I really got into the Raconteurs, one of my uncles was like, oh yeah, Raconteurs are killer. Their drummer's really good. And I remember kind of listening to them. I'm like, yeah, the drummer's okay. And then when I was like, these guys are cool though. And then when Consolers of the Lonely came out, some of the stuff he did on there, I'm like, this dude is amazing.
Yeah. He seems like he's got like a subtle kind of... He's like holding back.
He'll do something awesome, and you're like, "Oh, whoa, wait a minute, what'd you just do?"
He's got that style where it's like basic until it's just not.
Yeah, and like this song, "Hey Gip" or "Hey Jip," this little drum lick here. That one's for Jordan Anderson because he hates when people say shit like that. I didn't like this song that much, but these drums are badass, and that's just like a total Patrick Keeler thing for me. Like I don't know. I like that, but this was also one of the singles they released, and I'm like, I don't know. I'm still looking forward to the album, but not thrilled on this one.
The drums are the only saving grace to that song.
They really are. Each song has some sort of saving grace to it, I feel like, but not enough to like make the whole song, you know.
And that's why, I mean, I kind of feel guilty for saying it was so boring, but I don't know, because it does do a lot of good things.
Yeah.
There are interesting things. It just wasn't enough to like push me to the edge of like, oh, I care about this now.
So here's something. Shine a Light on Me. This song reminded me of a certain Pink Floyd song off of The Wall. And it's specifically these little harmonies. Well, they're not so little, I guess. These big, girthy sounding harmonies right here.
Yeah.
This was, and you might not think so, but I'll show you what it reminded me of. I don't know. I'm a sucker for like layered harmonies like that. I think it's kind of cool. And then this right here is kind of like la-di-da-ish, but it is very Raconteurs. That is Raconteurs right there.
Is this kind of like a Queen vibe?
No.
Okay. I kind of got because it was the harmonies. I kind of got like a Bohemian Rhapsody. Just like you're conducting a harmony like stop. I mean, a lot of songs do that, but
yeah. But specifically, the song it reminded me of is Pink Floyd's "Goodbye Blue Sky." These right here. No. All right, hold on.
I think the fact that it was a cappella made me think that at the beginning.
Yeah, that's what brought it up. But this right here. For some reason, this is a lot more ominous.
Yeah.
But the layered oohs and stuff, and then this, I love this. It just goes way down.
This is a better song.
Anyway, and then this right here. People are going to hear that and go, oh, it sounds like Metallica. No, fuck you. Metallica sounds like this.
What album is this on?
This is on The Wall.
Oh, okay.
So I probably shouldn't play too much of it.
Yeah, that's one way we'll get.
We can get docked. We can get fucked up for that.
Get keel hauled for that one.
Huh?
It's just like a pirate thing. They would like hang someone from a ship and then they get scraped up by barnacles. I think.
What's it called?
Keel haul.
Keel haul. We're gonna get keel haul.
Duh.
Let's see. Only Child. This song's all right.
Yeah.
Specifically, what I liked about it, go figure, are the effects that come in later on for like this little, I guess, kind of a guitar solo type thingy.
Yeah, I
think that sounds really cool. But I'm
with you on that.
This is one of those things where I'm like, it's one of those off the wall sounds where they kind of I don't know. I'm back and forth with that right there because to me, it sounds both like something he was messing around with, came up with a cool sound, was like, oh, I'm going to use that. Like, let's use this. This sounds really cool. And it does sound really cool. But at the same time, it sounds like something where it's like, hey, guys, check out how cool this sounds.
Yeah.
You know?
Maybe. You might be right.
But I don't know. And that's the point, though. Check out how cool it sounds. I like it.
Yeah. I mean, was
right.
anything wrong with that?
Yo, Jack, you're right. It does sound cool.
We all know that's what we were doing behind the scenes, but we like it.
Yeah, so you know what? I'm wrong for doubting it. A+. None of these are really standouts. These are just all like moments that I really liked in the songs, by the way.
That's cool.
What's Yours Is Mine is kind of cool. And this might be like kind of another standout, I think, if I really had to pick one.
This song is pretty cool, actually.
It's just meaty.
Yeah, it's a good jam. I like the production.
Yeah. And I like that little transition.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I don't have a whole lot to say about it except just it sounds cool.
It does sound cool. It doesn't sound like they're not reinventing the wheel. You know,
right.
It sounds like something else I've heard, but the production is exceptional, I think. Like how everything sounds
so
fantastic. Crisp and good.
Yeah.
Is something that you can almost count that as like an instrument itself.
Yeah. I liked that it did sound so crisp and clean, but it still sounded like it wasn't too clean, you know? Like
yeah.
There's still a little room for it to breathe, and I just keep saying it felt like a Raconteurs album. It really did.
Is this the first time we've ever agreed about production?
Maybe.
Yeah.
First time you've ever said, oh, it sounds really clean, and I like that.
Yeah. Because it's clean for a dirty rock song.
I will say one thing about the song "Help Me, Stranger," as opposed to "Help Us, Stranger." I like this little intro, how it gets a little fidgety. But the drum here, he actually flipped his snare over and was playing with
that's cool.
the snare itself side up.
That's cool.
It is kind of cool. I guess he was playing. Jack White talked about it on the commentary.
Okay, so that's why that sounded familiar. I was like, where have I heard that?
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, and I guess he used like kind of some lighter drumsticks or maybe even chopsticks or something. He said he's like
chopsticks?
Maybe chopsticks. I think something really light on it. And
I really started to passively listen to those commentaries, so I kind of forgot.
That's
that
the second one. So you forgot? Okay.
Because I was listening to it like it was like a weird album thing.
Yeah, I got you.
I wasn't paying attention to really what he was saying.
For sure. And you know what? And those are a lot of my notes for it. It's all of it's like, oh, it's okay, like it's pretty cool, but I've heard other things that excited me more. Even from this band, and I could see someone really liking this album. I could see someone listening to this and really digging it. So anyone who says they love this album, I'm not even mad at it.
No, of course. Yeah, I think it's completely justifiable for people to enjoy this album. And I think, I don't know how people are receiving it, but if it's well received, I understand that. I just think it maybe doesn't appeal to me personally in a way that, in any way, really.
Yeah.
Did you go over your picks?
You know what? I think we just agreed on that one pick.
Yeah.
Yeah, Now That You're Gone.
Yeah.
I think that was like my one real pick.
Okay.
The other ones,
that did stand out.
I think What's Yours Is Mine would be another standout for me.
Okay.
But all the other ones, they kind of just float. They kind of float back and forth.
Yeah. I mean, Now That You're Gone just felt more, I mean, they all feel like classic rock songs in some way, some band or some, they feel like tribute to some bigger, well-known classic rock act, but that one felt well written, like exceptionally.
Scott, you want to get into our final thoughts on this bad boy?
I think it's time.
What are we going to rate this out of?
Let's rate it out of yeah.
How many times are you going to this album?
Yeah.
Jesus. This is
how many out of...
How do we go from 0 to completely the most graphic thing you can say out loud
is it?
On this podcast? I don't know. It feels dirty, man.
What is it? You just rub a
scissoring.
But is it... I thought it was just like any body part, though.
I mean, it's like pelvic to pelvic kind of thing.
Okay.
Like rubbing your on like, I don't know, someone else's.
Okay. Well, that doesn't matter. What are you going to give it?
Are we doing how many times are you going to the album?
I mean, yeah.
You know what? So I think I'm going to it 7 times.
7 times. Wow.
Yeah. I think I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10.
That's a lot higher than I thought you were going to go.
Yeah, I do think that it's because they didn't go super off the wall, which both worked against them a little bit. You know what I mean?
It felt like they played it pretty safe.
It didn't feel like an album that was 11 years later disappointment. This wasn't an album that completely let me down 11 years later. It's an album that I was excited for, and I didn't completely hate it because it still felt like Raconteurs. I really think that they really were able to maintain themselves as a unit 11, after such a long break.
That's a good point. In the context of comeback albums, if you're gonna count this as a comeback album, which why not? Why not? Yeah, 11 years. There's some really bad comeback albums. I'm anticipating the new Sleater-Kinney will be one of those. This is good. This is fine. It's not a disappointment. Like, you can't really ask for much more from an act that's been like dormant for over a decade. So in that sense, it's a success.
Yeah.
So
I'm going to go buy some tickets right now. They're coming to San Francisco.
hell yeah, dude. Tell me how it is.
Yeah, I think me and Peter are going to try. Peter, man. And then we're going to go try and see.
I thought you were going to say you and Peter are going to.
Me and Peter are going to at the Raconteurs show way in the back. I think it's at the Fox Theater, and there's only like kind of some shittier tickets left, like way up in the balcony. So I'm like,
Fox doesn't have awful seats though, because
no matter where you are,
because it's like almost vertical the way that they sit you. Like you get high, but
Yeah,
you don't get far.
and I think with every ticket purchased, you get a CD.
They've been doing that a lot lately.
Well, I think that's cool.
Yeah.
I think that's really cool.
There's no other way to sell CDs anymore.
Yeah, and I still like getting CDs. I don't, I still drive around and pop a CD in my car, as I've mentioned previously on the pod at some point. But it is going to be one of those shows where you have to like put your phone in like a Ziploc baggie or whatever.
Oh my God,
what are
really?
those called?
And
that's some of the flack that he was getting a little bit too. That Jack White was speaking to, like, hey, I'm not doing this because I forget what they were accusing him of. He's like, I'm doing this because I want people to be like invested in the moment, basically.
I kind of like that. We're in like a weird time with that, where it's like, it kind of does kill the vibe when you see like everyone pulling out their phones. Mm-hmm. But also it's like, it sort of feels like your grandparents
and
are like telling you what to do,
If I'm at a show that I really like and they're playing a song that I dig, I'm going to record it because I will watch that later. Like I will.
I do it strictly for the clout. Like I'm just
okay.
Hey, I was here.
You're not really recording. You're just holding your phone up with the video app on.
Yeah, I'll just get 3 seconds of whatever.
I do it for the memories. I don't do it for the clout.
I do like 3 seconds of Pile and like, hey, I was at the Pile show. You saw it.
I did see that. Couldn't tell what it was because it was only 3 seconds.
Yeah, it was actually like 15. But
okay, maybe I didn't watch it. I don't know if I watched it with sound, actually. I think I put it on. It doesn't matter. Whatever. It
doesn't matter. But I get it. And actually, like, I think we're in a time now where it's like we got to find the medium amount. Like we're like to the extreme of everyone just pulling out their phones. We could dial it back. I think people would enjoy the show more if they could hold the attention. Like, it's like going to a movie and checking your phone. It's like, what are you really doing?
Yeah.
So
anyway, I'm gonna this album 7 times. How many times are you gonna rub your on it?
Well, I'm gonna go a little unconventional with this one. Middle of the road is 5, and I think that my enjoyment was almost negative because it was so middle of the road. For that reason, I'm gonna go 4.9.
Wow. Damn. Scott, you hated this album.
I didn't hate it.
But
It's
I'm
just
also
personal
curious
opinion.
what 0.9 of a is for you. So you're going to do like 4 full rubs. And on the last one, you're just going to do like an up swipe and like part of a down swipe and then just call it done.
This might be the worst rating system we've ever done.
This is disgusting. I have to put a fucking warning in the goddamn...
We can re-record, just overdub with, what?
With
What else
stars?
do you rub? Meat? No, that's worse.
You baste turkey. What is that when you're hammering the meat? You're
Tenderizing?
tenderize stuff. Yeah, what do you rub? You rub ribs.
There's no way to salvage this.
No.
Whatever. Sorry, guys.
Done. Sorry, everybody.
Sorry.
Well, I can just bleep everything out. Every time someone says there'll just be a bleep.
Let's do that. I think that's better.
The only one I'll leave is when I accidentally said tribadism.
Okay. I'm down.
4.9. All right.
4.9. We're in different sides of this.
Yeah, that's okay.
On this one.
And you know what? It might grow on me, and I hope it does.
Yeah.
And right
I hope
now,
it grows on me too.
Right now, everybody, we're gonna slide on into the EBDMs.
We're gonna be sliding to the EBDMs, yeah. We're gonna be sliding to the EBDMs, yeah. We're gonna be sliding to the EBDMs, yeah. We're gonna be sliding to the EBDMs, yeah.
Today's submission is from Alien Hand Syndrome. They sent us the song Entwined, official music video.
Alien Hand Syndrome. That's a cool name.
I know, I like it.
All right.
Yeah, I like how it starts so far. Good production. There's a dude's face in the music video. Staring very intently.
Yeah.
There's a fear.
I can't tell if it's a still image or if he's just sitting impressively still.
Wait.
There's a weight I can't repel.
What country is this guy from?
I don't know.
There's a fear. Not to make fun of him.
No, you're not. It's basically, that's the accent. Maybe it's German?
There's a shame I can't erase.
It's a little emo-y sounding on the vocals. I don't know how you feel about that. The strings are great, though.
Pain I can't replace.
Definitely sounds like a MIDI pad string.
It sounds cool. That's all right.
Did nobody tell you why?
It reminds me of, you know, you're gonna kill me for saying this. It reminds me of a Nirvana song, a little bit. Something in the Way.
Sure, yeah.
Reminds me of Something in the Way a little bit.
I won't kill you for that. That's fine.
Thank you, Scott.
I think that the songwriting in this isn't bad. I like the structure of this a lot. There's something just slightly off about it for me.
Yeah, I think I like everything but the vocals.
I think maybe the synthy aspects of it are a little too loud for me too, or it's like a little bit stands out a little bit too much.
So I'm trying to tell if those drums are authentic or programmed.
I think they're probably programmed.
No, I think they're live.
Really?
Yeah, listen to the hi-hat. Each hit sounded slightly different. That's a dumb way to do it. Each hi-hat hit sounded different, but it didn't sound as robotic.
Have you heard Placebo?
Not enough to like recall really, but I think I get what you're saying.
It's been a while since I've heard them, but I feel like this is similar. Or like this
Music
part here is
video's
like
strange.
Fiona Apple kind of. Nah, I'm just pulling shit out of my
This
ass
is
right now.
Entwined. Put that shit back in there, Scott.
No.
Nope.
All right. I think that's enough.
Oh, it sounds like his voice reminds me of shit, like a deeper version of Silver Sun Pickups.
Okay.
Like if that guy was singing, I think like way lower and slower.
I think we have slightly different impressions of this song, but I can't pinpoint mine.
There is a minute left, and there's a lot of songs that I like that really pick up a little after 3 minutes. So I kind of want to see if this is gonna if something's gonna slap here.
See where this all roads lead to slap.
Video's creepy. All roads lead to slap.
Doesn't mean anything at all.
No, but I like it though. I appreciate you.
Put that on my tombstone, baby.
Hey, maybe these guys are from Sweden too.
Sounds like he might be.
I don't know. I think I'm getting more German.
I like this, like the tone. I like the tone a lot.
Yeah.
I think the tone is great, and the stuff he does with like the progression is really cool. Something about the mixing, I think, is off. Maybe certain things are a little too loud, and certain things are a little too. I don't know, man. Something's off. I can't pinpoint it.
Yeah.
Maybe it's just his vocals, but I didn't hate his vocals though.
Mm-hmm.
Just something a little off. All right, what's our rating system for this? It's been so long.
Our rating system is the puke emoji, the peach emoji, or the eggplant emoji.
Right, I forgot about our
Puking is basically a thumbs down. Peach is like
Down the middle.
Down the middle. And eggplant is, you're DTF.
All right. And we do pluses and minuses.
We do. We give this.
Why don't you, okay, I'll go first. I'm going to go peach.
Peach?
Straight up peach.
Straight up peach. I'm going to go eggplant minus.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, I think it's kind of cool. I think I don't know. I like the tone behind it. I kind of like what was going on.
Why?
I wish something blew me away more in the middle, but
there's a good tone.
We can't all have that.
Could you do me a favor and just look up placebo and we can cut all this out? I feel like that vocal delivery, that vocal style was similar. I don't know this band well enough to do specific.
This is Every You, Every Me by Placebo.
I don't even know if I've heard it.
I don't even know if I've heard it.
Just the vocals.
Yes, I agree with you.
Okay. Wow,
Yeah.
you agree with me.
Yeah, because it's that kind of like, it's kind of whiny.
His is a little more nasally, but
Because I hate this style of singing. Is style?
it's a style. This is what his vocals were always kind of what held me back from this band, but
Yeah,
I don't hate it.
I don't like it at all. I don't like that kind of whiny style of it's just, that's what I associate with like emo.
Okay. There's certain examples of emo that are like far worse, but I know what you mean.
There are.
Yeah.
There definitely
It feels
are.
contrived in a way where it's like not. It's so forced. It feels unnatural.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, it's just like it's just kind of
I'm not. It's like
it's a little
over dramatic.
yeah. That's a good way to put it. Thank you.
Like just like
You're my wordsmith.
yeah. It's like leave me alone, Mom. I'm having issues.
I'm having a bad day.
This cheese is cold on my grilled cheese sandwich.
My Pepsi's flat. My grits. Oh, that took a minute to sink in.
All right.
There you have it, everybody. Scott, you want to get out of here?
Let's go to bed.
Did you just almost say let's go to the bathroom?
Yeah. Let's go to the bathroom and then you can tuck me in, Daddy.
I'm not sure how to respond to that one with
I took a stab. I tried. Okay. I took a leap of faith.
That's all right. We can go to bed though. I'm quite sleepy.
Yeah. I might not make it home, so if you could tuck me in, that'd be great.
I'll tuck you in now, and then you can drive home.
Yeah.
How's that sound?
Great.
Anything else you want to add?
Hey everybody, check that food pyramid.
You know what? Aren't they about to like debunk the food pyramid?
I think it's been debunked. I
Isn't
think
there,
it's
like-
been proven to be just like for the industry. Like
There's like too much meat or something on
there's
it.
like too much bread.
Too much bread too.
I think
maybe
grain
it was the bread.
I think grain is like the one that they say you should eat the most of, which is not. Where's meat in the food pyramid?
I don't know. Where is meat in the food pyramid?
Is that the second one up?
I don't remember what goes where, man.
All right.
I haven't looked at one in a long time.
Real quick, I'll look it up. All right. I got the food pyramid up right here. Let's check it out. So according to the food pyramid, bread, cereal, rice, and pasta group, 6 to 11 servings.
6 to 11 servings
I think this is daily.
in a day?
Yeah.
What-
Okay, pasta isn't that good for you.
Yeah, it's kind of just.
Bread and cereal aren't either. Even if you're eating whole grain. And rice. Yeah, so I think that was the part that people had an issue with. Next up, fruit, 2 to 4, and vegetables tied. 2 to 4 and 3 to 5 for vegetables.
Shouldn't you eat more vegetables than fruit though?
Then bread, yeah.
And both more than bread?
Yeah, yeah.
Because like fruit still has like a ton of sugar in it.
Yeah, I don't understand this. And then
Which you need to an extent, but
the
you know.
the third tier is milk, yogurt, and cheese, 2 to 3 servings, and then meat, poultry, fish, dry beans, eggs, and nuts, 2 to 3 servings. And
That's
then,
very interesting. Wait, milk, eggs, and cheese?
Yeah.
I
No,
haven't-
milk, yogurt, and
milk,
cheese.
yogurt, and cheese. Interesting. I do like yogurt.
This feels
I do like
weird.
cheese.
This feels wrong.
It feels weird.
And then fats, oils, and sweets used sparingly.
Yeah.
But fat's good for you.
I don't know. And this is supposed to be like, this is like prime living.
This
Like,
is yeah,
you can
like
do all
so you're
this.
supposed to just be eating like crackers and bread all day.
Yeah, I don't
and
know.
then like
I mean-
supplement it with an apple.
I don't know. I mean, like a lot of people are going vegan and stuff now, and a lot of them are doing. Look at Jared Leto. That motherfucker's 50.
Yeah.
He's vegan, and I don't think he drinks, and he looks fantastic.
Yeah.
on.
Well, I mean,
Can't tell
there's
me
a lot. There's a lot here.
You can't tell me that motherfucker's not the healthiest dude on the planet.
Why'd you bring up Jared Leto out of all people?
Because he's the one that I know that's in his 50s and looks fucking fantastic, and is vegan also.
All right. Yeah, it's
Specifically.
proven. I mean, you don't have to eat meat. This
All
goes
he
this
eats-
goes back to our government. This goes back to just our
All
our
he
culture.
eats is celery and vegan peanut butter, or all natural peanut butter.
A lot like
Vegan peanut butter.
a lot of cultures don't eat meat,
None of that bacon peanut butter
and it's fine.
or that milk peanut butter.
Wow. I mean, just two nutrition experts just going at it right now.
Yeah. If there's one field we're qualified to talk about, it's nutrition.
Nutrition, yeah.
If there's another field we're qualified to talk about, it's music.
And if there's a third one, it's politics.
Yes, sir. That's top of my list.
All right, Ian. What
So
about you? You got any final parting thoughts?
You sure you want to stick to the wanting everybody to check out that food pyramid?
Yeah, check it out and comment below. What WTF?
Yeah, what the fuck, food pyramid?
Bruh. Shit ain't cute.
I have nothing more to add. I have nothing more to contribute to this. You want to get out of here?
Yeah.
We want to remind everyone out there to check your ditty misses. And with that, this has been EarBuddies.
Bye-bye.
This has been another installment of the EarBuddies podcast. Bye-bye now.